means water, it means magic, it means life, it means that is a language that is living as opposed to a language that is dead.
Wow. And then when you talk about mare, it reminds me of the mermaid, the
Hmm.
ocean lady, which in the African culture we have the mamiwata,
Hmm.
the head, with the thing. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
it's so amazing. It's so amazing.
And because we don't know this, it's easy for them to confuse us and make us think the opposite. So instead of us thinking that black should be associated with life, we think black is associated with death because literally that's how we've been taught since we've been born. And again, going back to people who are religious and even Christians and that sort of stuff, in the Bible, they talk about the mark of the beast, the mark of the devil, the mark of the beast. And that mark is 666. Now, if you go into science and you understand how atoms work, so your cells are made up of atoms, and every atom has a number of protons, electrons, and neutrons as part of the atom. So, depending on what atom you're looking at, oxygen has 8 protons, 8 electrons, 8 neutrons. Hydrogen has 1 proton, 1 electron, 1 neutron. Depending on what atom you look at, you're going to see a number of electrons, protons, and neutrons as part of it. You look at carbon, and carbon has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. Six, six, six. So when they talk about 666, the mark of the beast, 666, devil, and all that sort of stuff, 666, again, if we just go by science, that's carbon. 666 is carbon.
Wow. So instead of our ancient way of life, which tells you know thyself so you can love thyself,
Hmm.
we are actually being taught wrong things about ourselves so we can hate ourselves. The
That's right.
result of this ignorance is self-hate.
That's exactly it. And that is the reason why a lot of black people, they don't want to associate with blackness because everything that's associated with blackness is negative. It's to do with death. It's to do even when people talk about darkness. So you got to get out of that a dark state, and darkness is associated with bad things and feeling bad and all that sort of stuff. When again, we need to look at it as life. When it comes to life, just think of the cycle of the sun. Because again, going back to ancient Kemet, a lot of the deities they ref- they refer to the cycle of the sun. So we did have the deity of the perfect black. He was associated with the underworld, so he was associated with darkness. The underworld was just what the sun does when it goes under. That's the underworld. So it's not a bad place or anything, and it's necessary for us to get sunrise because that's what the sun is doing. So when we think of darkness, we need that dark part. We need that dark time. We need that. It's during the darkness that we heal. So when you go to sleep at night, whatever's going on in your body wants to try and heal from it. It heals in the dark. It's the darkness where we heal. Yeah. And then it's the light where we reveal. So heal and reveal. So we heal during the night, and then we reveal during the day. Now, depending on what we've healed and what we haven't healed, is what we end up revealing when the light comes out. So, like they say, you reveal yourself, the true light. When the light shines on you, you reveal yourself. So, when they associate darkness with badness and black with death, you can understand why people who grow up to think they know themselves want to disassociate with blackness, with darkness, with anything that's associated with being black, because their whole life they've been told that this black thing is not a good thing. And even to this day, they do this all around the world where they don't teach us about melanin, but then they say things like they did during the pandemic, black people are more likely to die from COVID, or black people are more likely to die from type 2 diabetes, or black people are more likely to die. And these are the same people that are telling us that we're all one race, the human race, and there's no differences between us. So if there's no differences between us, why are we more likely to die from something that is killing everyone? The only thing, again, because they don't tell us, we gotta kind of answer that within ourselves. The only thing that your logic would say then is, well, if I'm more likely to die, and the only difference between me and you is my skin color, then it must be due to melanin. So now melanin gets a bad rap because now they're saying that black people are more likely to get certain diseases, but then they don't tell us why. And then we just kind of put two and two together. Well, there must be something wrong with my blackness then. There must be something wrong with my blackness because why would I be more likely to die than you? And we're both part of the human race. The only difference I can see is that I've got melanin and you don't.
Wow, this is so powerful because that sometimes they even say that blackness is being cursed. Like
Yeah.
this is so crazy because it seems to me like melanin would be a blessing. Having more melanin would be a blessing because it protects you. It allows you to absorb the sun. The sun is charging you. We're like a battery, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
producing things that nature needs. It seems to me
Mm-hmm.
like melanin would actually be some sort of superpower, but
Mm-hmm.
they tell you to hate it because it's like a curse,
Yeah.
because you're convinced that it's going to make you sick or something. So
Yeah.
let's end this amazing conversation on how you ended the book as well. I'm gonna give people just a little taste of how you ended the book, which I loved. Oh my goodness, this is a topic that so many people have went through, so many
Mm-hmm.
people have gotten in trouble, and you demystified it and simplified it and showed the relationship. And this, we're talking about, my people, marijuana, which is a plant. We've
Wow.
been talking about plants,
Yeah.
and the specific plant of marijuana,
Yeah.
crazy relationship with melanin
Yeah.
and black people, and then the idea that this plant becomes illegalized,
Yeah.
and then people become criminalized because of
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
then, like, when you study it chemically and biologically, it actually has a special place and a special relationship with everyone.
Yeah.
And so don't give it away. Just tell people a little bit, because I want
Just a little bit.
everyone to go and get the book, because this is a book that everyone should have at home in the
Yeah.
library so they can be consulting it. But I have to tell people that when I read about this chapter about marijuana, I was like, oh my goodness, if I get hired for a job, I'm taking this book with me to the interview.
Yeah, that's why I left it as one of the last chapters because I felt like that was like so deep and it explains so much. Again, when you're learning about this stuff, you start to see patterns, the pattern of flipping the script when it comes to our knowledge. So instead of black meaning life and white meaning death, which they flip it and it's the opposite. So white is associated with angelic and life and beauty and that sort of stuff. So that creates confusion. And then the confusion with regards to melanin and sunlight and them forcing propaganda on us to make us think that the sun is this bad thing that causes cancer. So we stay away from it. We put chemicals on our skin to protect ourselves from it, all that sort of stuff. So when it comes on to marijuana now, they went hard with the criminalization of it. So a lot of black people, especially black men, especially young black men, are still in jail today because of this drug. Yeah. And I wanted to make it clear in the book that when I'm talking about marijuana, I'm actually talking about cannabis, the plant. Yeah. Because cannabis, the plant, is a natural plant that grows everywhere. Yeah. Like I was in Jamaica for quite a long while this year. And yeah, it grows very very wild in Jamaica, and it's everywhere.
I was like, why don't they criminalize tomatoes so that they could put all the Italians in jail?
Exactly, exactly. But they're so powerful with their research. They found out a few things about this plant. Yeah, this plant activated things in our body. Yeah. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but
We're
the
not giving
scientific term,
nothing away. People, you have to buy the book. It's
yeah,
so amazing. You need this book in your life, my people.
the scientific term is endocannabinoids. So when I remember reading this scientific term called endocannabinoids, again, I'm trying to put two and two together. Cannabinoids, that sounds like cannabis. So there's these things in our body, they're actually in our brain and in our nervous system called endocannabinoids, and they are activated by this plant called cannabis. And when they are activated, it gives us a natural high, yeah. And obviously, people have taken this plant and then done things to it, like add fire or add other chemicals, and made it into a drug called marijuana. And then they lock up people for taking this drug. Now, again, if in the book I'm talking about the plant itself, yeah, is totally natural. Now, that being said, there are certain laws in certain places with regards to cannabis as well. But these days, they've been legalizing cannabis nearly all over the place. In various places in America, they've legalized it. So now you can walk into cannabis shops and they've got all of these cannabis products. But one of the most popular cannabis products is CBD oil. CBD oil, and people use it for anxiety. People use it for pain relief and that sort of stuff. But there's all of these products that come from cannabis that people are using for medical conditions. Yeah. And again, certain parts of the world have it legalized, certain parts of the world don't have it. But it's very interesting that even to this day, even though they're starting to legalize this stuff, a lot of young black men are in jail because of this drug, which is created from a plant that activates things in our body. And when it activates these things in our body, we get a natural high. And we don't even need the plant to receive the natural high. So I say in the book, just anything that makes you feel good, again, feel like you're living life to the fullest, will activate these things in your body. So if you're someone who loves to dance, when you're dancing, you're activating these things in your body. You're getting that natural high. If you're someone who loves, I don't know, theater, and you're going to theater with your friends or family, you're activating these things. Hugs, naturally, just hugging people naturally activates these chemicals in our brain and in our body. Even massage, getting a like a proper deep tissue massage will activate these things. And these are things that will give us a natural high. Even exercise, certain exercises. If you're doing an exercise and you love it, you're doing an exercise that you love, you really enjoy it, you'll get a natural high. And you see this all the time where you see someone doing what they truly love to do. And it's like they're on cloud nine. It's like they're on a natural high. It's like they don't need the drugs. And that's what I was trying to prove in that chapter, that we actually don't need marijuana because we can create this natural high through doing the things that we love. However, if we did want to supplement, then we supplement with cannabis, not marijuana. The cannabis, the plant. And what's crazy is like me being in Jamaica, I realized I was shown that you can do various things with the plant. So a lot of people just think, oh yeah, you gotta, smoke it, yeah. But um, where I lived, there it was growing in the back garden, and the person who was picking it was saying, yeah, you can juice these. So the leaves, you can actually juice them and make a cannabis drink, like a green juice, a really healthy green juice, yeah, that will activate these things in your brain, yeah, and then you can make teas of it and that sort of stuff. So again, the reason why they went so hard with marijuana is because of its association with obviously cannabis and cannabis's association with us as melanated human beings. It literally activates our melanin. And that blew my mind when I learned that, because it made sense why they'd still go hard at this drug, which, if you go by the research, alcohol is much more dangerous than marijuana, yeah, with regards to its effects. And this is scientifically proven. Alcohol, but yet alcohol is served everywhere and it's commercialized and that sort of stuff, but yet marijuana isn't. And marijuana is not as dangerous as alcohol. So why don't they go as hard with alcohol that they do with marijuana? And the only thing that I could come up with is the fact that that plant, that cannabis plant, is associated with us. And again, they don't want to give us that power because they have a fear of us taking over. And that's what Dr. Francis Cress Wilson was talking about with regards to racism. It's that fear of us taking over or annihilating them and that sort of stuff, which is which doesn't make sense if you truly understand how black people are. Again, like you said, with the how the color black works, we're a welcoming, we're absorbing all colors. We welcome everyone. Doesn't matter if you're not from our culture, we welcome you in. Yeah. And that's how we work as a people. We're a very loving people, very welcoming people. So, my personal opinion, I don't think that would happen. I don't think, even if, you know, they leveled the playing field in other areas, I don't think it would be a thing where we'd want to kick them out. It would just be like sport, where it would look like we're dominating, we're winning most of the time, but we're not winning everything. We're just, taking a lot of the goals, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, because the way that the creator created it is the full spectrum exists. The white
Yeah.
color still exists and functions as it functions, even
Hmm.
though the black color has its own properties and
Hmm.
function as it functions. So the fear, even their fear, is from ignorance, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Wow. This is so amazing. Oh my goodness, we're coming to the end of the show. What I loved about this chapter on cannabis, marijuana, is the idea that we actually have something within ourselves naturally in
Mhm.
that can create a natural high. And
Natural
then
high.
and so this is so powerful. And when you talk about when people are doing what they love, sometimes I'm laughing all the time on my show. People are like, are you
Yeah.
high? What are you high on?
Exactly. Exactly. That is your natural high, and that's one of the things that I think they try and stop. They try and stop the natural high, the naturalness of us. So, um, a lot of the things that we did naturally are very unnatural now. So, just like worshiping the sun, just being out in the sun, we don't do that anymore. As black people, if we're talking generally speaking, we're hardly out in the sun, and when we are, we believe that it gives us cancer. So a lot of us are putting on sunscreen and, shades and hats and protecting ourselves from the sun. So something that we did naturally, which is be out in the sun, where it's very unnatural now. So that we lose that natural high because of that. Other things that we did naturally, just, enjoying each other's company, rituals, African ceremonies, rituals, and that sort of stuff. We don't do those things hardly. Well, especially here in the UK, we don't hardly do those things anymore. So certain rituals have stopped now. Things that we did naturally, yeah, things that really activated our melanin. Because I say in the book, your melanin is to do with rhythm. So anything that's rhythmical, that's the reason why, with regards to music, um, we kind of feel the music differently because of our melanin. Yeah, it's all to do with rhythm. Everything's to do with rhythm. Life is to do with rhythm. The sun cycle is to do with rhythm. Photosynthesis is to do with rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is to do with rhythm. It's all to do with rhythm. And it seems like, especially in the last couple of years, all of those things that we get a natural high from have been getting blocked. And literally, if you go by the pandemic, all of them were blocked. So remember, during the pandemic, it was lockdowns. So so just naturally giving someone a hug, which would give you a natural high, you can't do that now. Um, You got to distance yourself, social distancing. So everything that would naturally give us that high, we couldn't do. So we couldn't socialize, we couldn't hug, we couldn't be out in the sun, we couldn't do, all of these things that we do naturally.
But liquor stores in Canada were open. Liquor stores. I will never forget this. Liquor stores were open, libraries were closed. I will
Look at that
not forget this.
again. And when you go with the research, alcohol is more dangerous than marijuana, and they kept those stores open. So what does that tell you?
Wow, Leon Marshall, thank you so much. Oh
And
my goodness.
it's
Tell
been
people where they can find you. You do events. I would love to come to one of your events one time. Do you planning on Canada? I know Canada is so lost. Like we're up here by ourselves. Nobody thinks about us.
I'm planning to do events all over the world. So yeah, definitely Canada is on my radar. But yeah, we're still doing events in the UK. We're actually looking to do an event. Myself and brother Mabali Makasi, we're actually looking to do an event in France next year. So that would be a collaborative event that we're looking to do next year. So look out for that one. And you can follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Leo Marshall Online, and a lot of my videos are on the hiddenscienceacademy.com, so previous events and previous lectures. We do have a YouTube channel, so you can follow the Hidden Science Academy on YouTube, and I do have my personal channel as well, which is Leon Marshall, and I've got quite a few of my previous webinars and previous lectures on there as well. So YouTube, um, the hiddenscienceacademy.com, or Instagram.
Absolutely. And I want to tell people that there's so much content. My brother, my people, this brother is so rich. Oh, there's so much
Thank
content.
you.
We didn't even get into the food. We didn't even get
Oh
into
my days, yeah.
you know,
That
we
is a
didn't
big
even
one.
get into like there's so many things that we
Yeah,
didn't even get to. This is just a taste and an introduction. I want
yes.
everyone to buy the book, and then when people have questions, if they have questions in the future, I would
Mhm.
love for you to come back and answer their questions. And please keep us in touch. Tell us your events, where you're having events, so we can tell people to go to your events,
Yeah,
because what you're doing is amazing. And the knowledge that you have and the way that you deliver the knowledge at your events, it's so funny. It's fun. You're on your natural high.
that's it. Yeah, I'm doing my natural high. And that's something that we all need to be doing. We need to find that natural high so we don't need to rely on, drugs, medication, chemicals, that sort of stuff. If we can find our natural high, I say to people, find your joy, find your
It's
joy.
very empowering to know that I could make myself high without taking any extra thing. It's just so powerful. I'm like, okay, that's
Amazing.
it. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
writing, I'm getting high. I'm doing my
That's
show, I'm getting high. I'm walking, I'm
right.
getting high. You know,
That's
it's
right.
so
Yeah.
great.
Amazing. And it's so powerful for your health as well. You don't realize when you're on that natural high, all the good things that are happening in your body, all the good things. Your blood's flowing the way it should be, you're breathing the way you should be, your hormones are getting secreted how they should. Everything's just flowing. Again, life is about rhythm, it's about flow. It's when things stop, that's when we start to have health issues. So when your blood stops flowing or something in your organs is blocked or clogged, we just want things to flow, your thoughts to flow, your blood to flow, your breath to flow. And yeah, being on a natural high is going to produce that.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
brother
you, sister.
Leon
Thank you. This has
Marshall.
been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. I love your work. I want everyone to get your book. Thank you infinitely for taking the time to do all the research, to writing it. It's a book which is beautiful outside on the inside and has so much wealth. I love the images and everything that is contained. This is a must have in every library, in every family which wants to just keep doing better. I just love it. If you have any last words, please let us know, and then we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. I can't wait to talk to you again and to meet you eventually in person. Thank you.
Can't wait, sis. Thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. I just want to say to the people that are listening, just remember melanin is the chemical key to life. That's the easiest way to remember it. Melanin is the chemical key to life. So if you want to understand yourself, you need to understand melanin. And through understanding melanin, you start to understand life. The same way through understanding how the plants, produce life and the plant process of photosynthesis. The same way you understand that, it helps you to understand life is exactly the same way learning melanin helps you to understand life. So, yeah, get the book. It's one of those books that you can refer back to over and over again because I've put, even though there's a lot of scientific terminology, I try and keep it super simple, but I break down every chapter at the end with a multiple choice questionnaire and I try and make it as simple as possible to the point where the right answer is so obvious. And then you can check your answers at the end as well. So, thank you, sister. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'd love to come back as well. So thank you. Matondo, Matondo.
Matando, Matando. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll keep in touch.
All right, take care.
All right, my people. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness, my people, I love it. This book has inspired me so much. It has so much wealth. And then to Africans who still speak African languages, everything is so self-evident in your own African language. Oh, my people. I'm so, so, so happy about this. So thank you. Thank you so much to Leon Marshall for this book and all the work that he does. I love it. All right, my people. So go get the book. It's on Amazon. The Hidden Science of Melanin by Leon Marshall. It's on Amazon. He told you all his contacts. Visit his website. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. This is good for you. This is one of those things that you do because it's good for you. All right, my people. All right. So that's it for the show today in English. Let's move into French for a little bit and then move into Kinyarwanda right away, my people. Thank you so much for being here.